This is a special 22 News presentation. The 22 News Storm Team preparing for winter. Here are meteorologists Brian Lapis, Nick Bannon, Adam Stremko, and Kelly Reardon.
Hello and welcome to our 22 News Storm Team Winter Weather Special, Preparing for Winter. Over the next half hour, we're going to help you get ready for our coldest season and give you some better understanding of the science behind the storms of this season. But before we get to this winter, let's dust off the record books and look at what happened last winter.
Yes, winter 2018-2019 was the winter of the complicated storms. Seems we would never get just a plain old snowstorm. Last winter was a mix of sleet and freezing rain. But as it turns out, we actually had less snowfall than usual last winter. In a typical winter in the Lower Pioneer Valley, we received roughly 49 inches of snow. But last winter, we only picked up 38.5 inches, but plenty of wintry mix days. Our first accumulating snowfall last season was actually one of our biggest storms of the snow season, but it came in autumn in the middle of November with 7.5 inches of snow.
And we had somewhat of a snow drought last December, even after that big snowstorm in November. We only picked up 0.2 of an inch of snow in the Lower Pioneer Valley in December, a month that we typically get close to 10 inches of snow on average. That wasn't a good thing for children hoping for a white Christmas.
But we did have some substantial cold last winter. On January 21st, our high temperature for the day was only 3 degrees. That was the coldest high temperature ever recorded on that date. In this winter weather special, we will cover some of the most important topics of winter, including the impact that a changing climate is having on our coldest season. We'll focus on the cold and the ice, but first, Nick takes a look at snow.
Yeah, I looked into how communities in western Massachusetts deal with snow, from our schools to our roads, and how the snowfall is tracked from year to year. It's the time of year that students across the area get excited about the possibility of snow days. It's part of a superintendent's job to decide how weather impacts the school's schedule.
It is, quite frankly, the most difficult part of the job. 22
News spoke with West Springfield Public Schools Superintendent Michael Richard about these decisions. So what is the main purpose of school delays, early dismissals, or complete cancellations?
Well, there's only one consideration, that's student safety. We always want to make sure that our students and our staff and families can get our stakeholders to and from school safely whenever there's inclement weather.
Decision making starts with a 4 a.m. conference call between the superintendent, mayor, head of DPW, among others, to discuss road conditions, preparation, and the forecast. Richard often consults with neighboring district superintendents, but makes his final decision based on what's in the best interest of his district. Decisions are made by 5:30 a.m. before staff start to make their way to school. There are 3 options available: complete cancellation, a late start, or an early dismissal.
Early dismissals are the most challenging decision to make, for sure, because families who are working are at work, and oftentimes that means sending youngsters home to empty homes. And so we really try not to have an early dismissal as much as possible, because that's the most disruptive.
West Springfield doesn't have a set number of snow days, but any snow day taken becomes a day added on at the end of the school year. There's no set criteria for a snow day.
Come the end of January and the beginning of February, people have seen the snow, now they're used to driving in it, and you can have 4 inches of snow and people are saying no big deal, whereas 6 weeks earlier with 2 inches of snow, the sky was falling. So it does change. But it's never about how many have we used and how many do we have available to us. It really is always still about student safety, but people's comfort levels definitely acclimate as the season progresses.
With pressure to avoid liability, Richard admits districts probably cancel school more now than decades ago. Head west out of the Pioneer Valley, higher up and into the hills, and you're in an area known as the Hill Towns, which are the eastern slopes of the Berkshires. And it's places like here that get more snow usually in the winter, and with that more challenges that you don't necessarily deal with in the valley. That's where we meet Charles Chip Dazell, highway superintendent for the hill town of Huntington in far western Hampshire County. He runs a department of 3 full-time employees responsible for salting, sanding, and plowing 12 miles of dirt road and 21 miles of pavement.
There's days we'll get ice on the hill, nothing downtown, or ice downtown, nothing on the hill, or snow versus either way. So you got to ride both areas, pretty much the whole town, to get a look and then come up with the plan to whatever procedure we need to do, sand, salt, plow.
During a storm, Chip and his team will get up at 4 a.m. and clear the roads that are often steep and narrow. The roughly 2,000 people who live here seem appreciative of the work done by this small but hardworking department.
But all in all, the general public is good in doing things. We know they got to get somewhere, and they know we got to get things done. Try to work together. I don't think anybody likes storm. Snow, ice.
Back in the Pioneer Valley at Westover Air Reserve Base in Chicopee, a team of 6 meteorologists have a narrow focus, forecasting and reporting weather conditions for the base. Part of that job is measuring snowfall for a number of reasons.
Public safety, so they know what the snow total is for the general area, resource protection, knowing how much snow we need to remove from the runway.
Meteorological technicians at Westover, like Robert Stacy, measure snowfall on these 2 boards every hour during a storm. One board gets cleared every 6 hours, while the other board gets cleared only after the storm is done. The average of 3 measurements ends up being the official snowfall report, and that information gets added to the record books. But that's not all.
Part of measuring snow is getting how much water is in liquid is in the snow. So we use our rain gauges to collect the snow as it falls. Right now the tube is in it. Normally for snow events we would take off the top and remove the inner cylinder and just let the snow accumulate in the cylinder to give us a liquid content of the snow. And then that helps us get the snow ratio for when we're forecasting, so we know how much snow to forecast.
Plus, I know it's helpful knowing how wet or dry the snowpack is for potential flooding in the spring.
That and for cleanup purposes, if it snow's going to be affected by the wind, is it going to be blown around or is it going to sit and settle? Be really heavy, the heavy wet snow to shovel, and how hard it is to clean off the runways.
Yeah, most people don't think rain gauges when they think snow measurements, but in many ways the rain gauge is almost as important as figuring out how much snow fell.
Definitely.
The information gathered at Westover ends up being the official snowfall measurement for the Lower Pioneer Valley, and it serves as a way for the 22 News Storm Team to figure out how accurate our snowfall forecast was. Now, we generally get most of our snow December through February, with our snowiest month being January. Adam, snow can cause some problems, but some people get more nervous about other types of wintry weather.
That's right, Nick. As we continue to help prepare you for winter, after the break, we'll look at the impact of ice.
Welcome back to the 22 News Storm Team Weather Special. So we know there's no winter in western Massachusetts without snow and, of course, ice, which can be pretty scary if you're out on the road. I know I slipped a few times last winter, even when driving really slowly.
That's right, Kelly. So it's probably not surprising to hear that ice is the most dangerous type of winter weather to deal with. That's why I looked into how to prepare for it and how it has affected us in the past. Ice can be very dangerous and very damaging. Freezing rain occurs when the air is warm enough for rain, but the ground and other surfaces are at or below freezing. The rain freezes and forms a glaze of ice on whatever it comes in contact with. When that ice forms on the roads, it's called black ice, and it can make for extremely dangerous driving conditions, especially if your car isn't prepared for winter weather. There are tires you can get, however, that will help you drive in icy conditions.
They still have what people think are old-fashioned studded tires. You know, there's a lot of cars that you can still put studded tires on, and it works terrific. They're little carbide studs that get pushed into the tire, and they bite and just rip into the ice, and you'll have unbelievable traction with them.
When a winter storm is in the forecast and ice is expected, the temperature is very important in knowing how to treat the roads and parking lots.
The treated salts tend to help lower the temperature that the product will work. So an average white salt will only work till a little bit below freezing. If you treat them with different products like calcium, things like that, you can get a lower working temperature so that it works better.
It may look very picturesque, but when ice accumulates on trees and power lines, the results can be devastating. On December 12, 2008, a major ice storm hit the hill towns of western Massachusetts. Trees came down everywhere, making roads impassable and knocking out power to an estimated 350,000 homes and businesses in Massachusetts. A state of emergency was declared in a number of towns, and the National Guard was called in to help with the cleanup effort. According to Priscilla Ress from Eversource, it's important to be aware and to take precautions before a storm hits.
If there is an ice storm, you want to be sure that you are not driving under a line that could be weighed down by that ice. Also, think like an arborist. Go around your own yard. Take a look at those trees. Are there trees that may, in fact, damage a line or also cause damage to your home?
And remember to call 911 and to stay away from any down power lines you come across during or after a storm. A phenomenon that can occur in winter are ice jams. They're caused when ice breaks up on rivers and flows downstream. They're not all that common here in southern New England, but we did have to deal with them during the winter of 2017-2018. Huge chunks of ice piled up in and along the banks of the Connecticut River. The ice jams caused some damage to Brunel's Marina in South Hadley. Now, ice is definitely one of the worst things to have to deal with during winter. So whether it's driving, power outages, or ice jams, it's important to be prepared.
Coming up next, frigid temperatures can cause major issues for your home if you are not careful and don't prepare. I spoke extensively with home energy efficiency experts and contractors to see how you can save on your home heating costs.
Welcome back. Kelly, I think we had some pretty nice fall temperatures in September and October. We kind of eased out of summer with a gradual cooling. And then November hit. Wow, it was a pretty cold month. We didn't get much of any snow, but the November chill certainly kick-started what's coming for the next 3 or 4 months.
Yes, it certainly was a cold November, Brian. We even set a new record low temperature on November 17th when we dropped to 12 degrees in Chicopee. So ready or not, winter is on its way. I talked with a few contractors to find out how you should prep your home for the incoming chill and how you can save big on energy costs. It wasn't too long ago that western Massachusetts was a sea of red, orange, and yellow, but it won't be long until it transforms into a winter wonderland. And local homeowners need to prep sooner rather than later. Tom Rasmusler, the president and CEO of Energia LLC, told 22 News insulation and air sealing near windows and doors are two of the first things that should be done to save money on winter energy costs. Those upgrades can give you the most bang for your buck. There are bigger projects to invest in order to save money on energy costs, but there are some more simple projects for your home you can also try. Turning down your hot water can stretch your dollar, as well as lowering your thermostat a few degrees during the day while you're away and at night when you're warm in bed.
I know people with leaky windows often put those, plastic shrink wrap kits on the windows, and that actually, that can do something. There are little gaskets you can get from the hardware store, from Home Depot, someplace for your outlets and switches. You can put like a little foam gasket underneath those things, and also just generally being more conscious.
But wintry weather can affect more than just your heating bill. Freezing temperatures and snow can cause issues for your roof. Your first line of defense is to keep your gutters clean, because if your gutters are blocked, the water from melting snow backs up and then it refreezes and leads to something called ice damming. If you've got snow on your roof, it's best to leave it on unless you are able to clean it completely off rather than partially. Partial clearing of snow can increase your chance of ice damming.
Ventilation is the main issue on ice damming. If your house has proper ventilation, meaning soffit vents, ridge vent, or gable vents, and proper ventilation includes your insulation in the attic.
Using ice dam pucks or salt from the hardware store to treat ice dams could do more harm than good. They can discolor your roof, corrode roof nails, and have negative environmental impacts. Instead, try to prevent or go for professional help. Ventilation is key to preventing ice dams, but you also need to make sure your roof is in good condition before the snow falls. Look for curling of shingles, separation, and falling shingles. Those are all red flags for poor roof health. Even with a warming climate, that is, you can still get periods of cold.
And in fact, winters in western Massachusetts are changing. We'll look at what climate science has to say about changes in winter and what local towns are doing to adapt.
Welcome back. So far, we've dealt with the mechanics of winter, the snow, the cold, the ice, and how you can be better prepared to handle what's coming. Now we're going to talk about the ways climate change is affecting our winters now and in the future.
You know, we get asked about climate change a lot, and while winter isn't going anywhere, the length of the season, the intensity of winter rain and snow, and even the potholes you drive over are changing because the climate is changing. And just like preparing for this season's ice, snow, and cold, the time is now for our local cities and towns to plan for and adapt to the changes in our changing seasons. Winter in western Massachusetts. Whether you love it or hate it, winters in western Massachusetts are changing. When we're in the icy grasp of winter, it may seem imperceptible, but the science shows winters are warming.
We are seeing a trend toward warmer winters in the northeast U.S. and in Massachusetts. Winters are projected to warm by perhaps as much as 6 degrees Fahrenheit over the next 50 to 60 years.
As our winters warm, consecutive days of below average temperatures, or more simply put, cold snaps, are getting shorter. In fact, at Amherst, where there is an over 100-year climate record, we've had winters in recent years where the entire season's temperature has averaged above freezing.
So having 3 winters above freezing in the past 20 years, 2 of them just in the past 10, it's really sort of symbolic of our warming and how our climate is transitioning to more liquid precipitation versus solid.
Warmer and shorter winters will mean challenges for the winter recreation industry in western Massachusetts, like skiing, snowmobiling, and ice fishing. And a shorter, warmer winter may mean a longer breeding season and more tolerable cold seasons for insects that carry disease, like mosquitoes and ticks.
We're seeing a later fall freeze up and an earlier spring thaw. And so the frozen season is contracting. And there's a lot of recent research that suggests that mosquitoes in this area, the Asian tiger mosquito, has been moving north in recent decades as a result of warmer temperatures.
Just because winters are getting shorter does not necessarily mean we'll be shoveling less snow. A warmer climate can carry more moisture. As a result, there has been an increase in heavy precipitation, and that can mean an increase in heavy snow in winter.
So as the atmosphere warms, it can hold more moisture. So a warmer winter, the atmosphere holds more moisture, and that's one of the reasons why we can see heavy snow events in the middle of winter when it's cold enough to have snow.
The scientific statistics are showing an increase in strong storms, and cities here in western Massachusetts are feeling the effects. East Hampton, along with several cities and towns in the Pioneer Valley, is partnering with the state for the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program to better plan for and adapt to our changing climate.
One of our most vulnerable elements is increased rainfall and more intense storms. And so those are things that are beyond our control. And as a municipality, we're trying to look at what can we do to sort of mitigate some of that. Some of those impacts.
For example, this storm drain pipe on the outskirts of downtown East Hampton doesn't look very important, but its inability to handle a higher volume of water with more frequent heavy rain has caused erosion around it and potentially flooding on the streets above it.
These new storms, they're more intense and they have higher velocity flows. The water is moving faster, so it can do more destruction. Our infrastructure is old, and it also was designed under different design flows than what we have now.
The money from the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program will help to design and build infrastructure more resilient to climate change. For East Hampton and for cities across the Commonwealth, the list of projects is long, but to really address climate change, a holistic approach is needed.
We're also looking to plan to use green infrastructure and find ways to use the environment as opposed to all these hard pipes and outfalls to get rid of the water and to mitigate it.
So the aha moment for me in this report was the connection of the more intense precipitation from the science to the more intense precipitation that towns like East Hampton are dealing with right now. So even something as simple as potholes. Potholes are created by melted water getting into cracks in the pavement and then refreezing. If we have fewer consecutive days of below freezing weather, we'll have more of those freeze and thaw cycles and very likely more potholes.
So the next time you're feeling skeptical about climate change, you're saying take a drive down your favorite potholed street. That ought to refresh your understanding of how climate change is affecting winter. We'd like to thank you so much for joining us for our 22 News Storm Team Weather Special.
And remember to download our 22 News Storm Team weather app, and our forecast is always available at WWLP.com. Have a safe and happy holiday.